Kim Jong Un's travels are wrapped in secrecy, deception, and extreme security. From bulletproof trains and armored limousines to private jets and body doubles, every trip is a carefully planned operation. But why does he go to such extremes? Let's uncover the shocking truth behind his hidden tactics he uses to stay untouchable. Kim Jong Un, the most mysterious leader in the world. Kim Jong Un is more than just the leader of North Korea. He is one of the most secretive and unpredictable figures on the global stage. Unlike other world leaders, whose lives are documented in public records and media, Kim's past, his rise to power, and even basic details about his personal life are shrouded in mystery. His birth year? Uncertain. His childhood? Kept in the dark. Even today, despite ruling with an iron grip, much of his world remains hidden from outsiders. Rising to power after the death of his father, Kim Jong-il, in 2011, Kim Jong-un was initially dismissed as too young, too inexperienced, and too weak to hold the regime together. Yet, in just a few years, he crushed opposition, tightened control, and even eliminated top officials, including his own uncle. Under his rule, North Korea has expanded its nuclear weapons program, engaged in high-stakes diplomacy, and maintained a ruthless grip on its people. But who is Kim Jong-un really? A strategic mastermind, a ruthless dictator, or a leader trapped by his own paranoia? To understand his secretive travel methods, we first need to understand the man behind the mystery. The mystery behind Kim Jong-un's travel. Kim Jong-un doesn't travel like other world leaders. He vanishes. There are no public schedules, no televised takeoffs, and no predictable flight paths. One day he's in Pyongyang. The next he appears in Beijing, Moscow, or the Korean border, without a trace of how he got there. His movements are wrapped in secrecy, deception, and extreme security. But why does the supreme leader of North Korea go to such lengths to hide his travel? The answer isn't just about security, it's about control, paranoia, and the terrifying reality of power. Unlike the US president, who flies in Air Force One, the most advanced aircraft in the world, Kim relies on a Soviet-era 62M jet, retrofitted for both luxury and survival. Inside, it's a flying palace, complete with gold-trimmed interiors, plush seating, and top-tier security modifications. But there's a dark reason behind this choice. Modern planes can be tracked, hacked, and even sabotaged. Kim knows this, so he sticks to the outdated, avoiding Western technology while ensuring his plane remains undetectable. But the real mystery isn't just how he flies. It's how he moves without anyone knowing. His motorcade is a convoy of $1,500,000 armored Mercedes Maybachs, rolling fortresses designed to withstand direct attacks. His bodyguards don't just stand, they run alongside his limo, trained to throw themselves in the line of fire. And then there's his secret weapon, a personal train that doubles as a mobile fortress. Unlike a plane, a train is impossible to shoot down and difficult to track. Its interiors, a private dining room, a bedroom fit for a king, and even a bulletproof meeting space where he plots his next move. But here's where it gets controversial. While Kim moves in unimaginable luxury, the people of North Korea suffer in silence. Just miles away from his golden train, millions live in poverty, struggling for food, heat, and basic medical care. His $500 million yachts sail in hidden locations, while his citizens are forbidden from even leaving their own country. He rides in luxury limos, while North Koreans travel in overcrowded buses or on foot. His palaces gleam with chandeliers and imported Italian marble, while everyday North Koreans face rolling blackouts and food shortages. So, is Kim Jong-un's secrecy about protecting himself or protecting the illusion of his power? Does he fear assassination, or does he fear his own people seeing the truth? This is more than just a dictator's extreme security measures. It's the ultimate display of wealth and fear, playing out at the cost of millions of lives. The world may be watching, but will the truth ever catch up with him? Kim Jong-un's Soviet-era jet. Most world leaders take flight in state-of-the-art aircraft, equipped with cutting-edge defense systems, missile jamming technology, and luxurious presidential suites. But Kim Jong Un, he does things differently. Instead of relying on modern high-tech planes like Air Force One, he clings to a Soviet-era relic, the IL-62M, a Cold War-era aircraft built decades ago. But why would the supreme leader of North Korea, a man obsessed with power and control, put his fate in the hands of an outdated machine? The answer is simple. This plane isn't just a mode of transport. It's a fortress in the sky, a ghost in the air, and a symbol of paranoia wrapped in luxury. From the outside, the UAN IL-62M looks like a relic from a forgotten era. But step inside, and you'll find a world of extravagant comfort that defies North Korea's struggling economy. Plush leather seating, gold-trimmed furniture, and an onboard dining area that serves gourmet meals while millions in his country survive on food rations. This is more than just a private jet. It's a flying palace designed to showcase his dominance while ensuring he remains untouchable. Every trip is carefully planned, and no flight pattern is ever the same. Why? Because Kim knows that in the age of advanced missile technology and intelligence surveillance, standing still for too long could mean death. But here's where it gets even more bizarre. Kim doesn't just fly in one plane, he flies in multiple. To throw off potential assassins and foreign intelligence agencies, North Korea often launches multiple decoy aircraft at the same time, each flying different routes, making it nearly impossible to track the real one. Think about it. While one plane heads toward Russia, another toward China, and a third in a completely different direction, no one knows which one actually carries the supreme leader. It's a mind game. A high-stakes strategy of deception and paranoia, all to protect one man's life at the cost of an entire nation's suffering. And this raises a serious question. If Kim Jong Un trusts his old Soviet jet more than modern aircraft, what does that say about his own country's aviation technology? North Korea constantly boasts about its military advancements, yet its own leader won't even set foot on a plane built by his own engineers. The contrast is striking. While ordinary North Koreans struggle with outdated infrastructure, unreliable power grids, and extreme poverty, Kim enjoys the best of Cold War luxury, all while ensuring he remains untouchable. So, is this a brilliant strategy or the ultimate display of paranoia? Is Kim Jong Un outsmarting his enemies, or is he simply running from an inevitable fate? One thing is clear, his plane may be a flying fortress, but no fortress is impenetrable forever. Kim Jong Un's $1,500,000 armored limo. The moment Kim Jong Un steps out of a building, an entire security operation moves into action. Streets are cleared, guards flood the area, and a convoy of blacked-out vehicles lines up in perfect formation. At the center of it all, a $1,500,000 armored Mercedes Maybach S600 Pullman Guard. More than just a car, it's a rolling fortress. It's not just designed for comfort. It's built for survival, in a world where assassination attempts are always a possibility. But is this extreme level of security a necessity, or is it the ultimate proof of a leader living in fear of his own people? This Maybach limousine isn't just bulletproof. It's built to withstand direct explosions, sniper fire, and even chemical attacks. The windows are nearly 5 inches thick, reinforced to stop armor-piercing rounds. The entire cabin is airtight, ensuring that no poison gas or biological agent could seep in. Even the tires are designed to keep rolling, even if they've been shot or blown out. It's the kind of security you'd expect for a man who doesn't just have enemies abroad, but inside his own borders. But the real spectacle isn't just the car. It's the army of bodyguards that move with it. Kim's personal security detail doesn't just ride inside vehicles, they run alongside them. Dressed in perfectly tailored suits, these elite bodyguards are trained to throw themselves in front of bullets, pull Kim from danger within seconds, and neutralize any perceived threat with military precision. Every step, every movement is a carefully rehearsed performance of power and control. But here's where the controversy begins. While Kim rides in an armored limousine designed to survive a war zone, his people struggle to survive at all. Outside his palace gates, millions face food shortages, hospitals operate without basic supplies, and everyday citizens live in fear of a regime that crushes dissent. This is not just a leader protecting himself, it's a man completely disconnected from the suffering of his own nation. So, is this over-the-top security truly about safety, or is it a dictator desperately trying to shield himself from reality? Kim's Maybach might be built to survive an attack, but can it protect him from the uprising that history has proven comes for rulers who push their people too far? Kim Jong Un's secret train. A plane can be tracked, hacked, and even shot down. A convoy can be ambushed in an instant, but a train? It's slow, old-fashioned, and completely unexpected, making it one of the safest and most mysterious ways to travel. For Kim Jong Un, this isn't just transportation, it's a mobile fortress, a palace on rails, and the ultimate symbol of his obsession with secrecy and survival. From the outside, his train looks like something pulled from Cold War history. An olive green beast, chugging along at a painfully slow speed of 37 knots per minute. But inside, it's a completely different world. The train is said to be outfitted with luxurious dining rooms, state-of-the-art communication systems, and even a bulletproof private suite where Kim conducts high-level meetings. Fresh lobster, the finest wines, and imported cheeses are served on board as he glides through the North Korean countryside, completely disconnected from the struggles of his own people. Kim's train doesn't just move him from one place to another. It's a meticulously orchestrated security operation. Each journey involves multiple decoy trains running at different times and routes, confusing foreign intelligence agencies and potential attackers. Every station he passes through is swept for explosives, locked down by armed soldiers, and cleared of civilians long before he arrives. Snipers are stationed along the tracks, and his elite security detail scans the landscape for threats. This isn't just travel, it's a military operation. And here's the controversy: while Kim rides in unimaginable luxury, North Koreans barely have enough food to survive. The same railway system that delivers him to safety is used to transport starving citizens to forced labor camps. While his private train runs on specially maintained tracks, everyday North Koreans struggle to find fuel just to keep warm. He moves in secret, untouched by the suffering of his people, hiding behind steel walls, bulletproof glass, and an iron grip on power. So, is this train really about security? Or is it about a dictator so terrified of losing control that he refuses to set foot in the real world? One thing is clear: Kim Jong Un's train may be built to keep him safe, but no amount of steel and security can protect a leader forever. Kim Jong Un's body doubles. Kim Jong Un isn't just paranoid, he's a master of deception. Every time he appears in public, every time he waves to a crowd or steps out of his luxury limousine, there's one chilling question: is it really him? The world has long speculated that the North Korean leader employs body doubles, highly trained lookalikes who mimic his movements, voice, and even weight fluctuation. But this isn't just about security. It's a game of psychological warfare, a strategy designed to confuse enemies, mislead foreign intelligence agencies, and even manipulate his own people. The idea of dictators using body doubles isn't new. Saddam Hussein had them, so did Adolf Hitler. But Kim Jong Un? He's taken it to another level. Some reports suggest that he doesn't just have one or two body doubles, he may have an entire team, rotated in and out to keep the world guessing. Experts have analyzed footage of Kim over the years and found strange inconsistencies. differences in his facial structure, varying gait patterns, even fluctuations in his teeth alignment. Could it be bad camera angles? Or is North Korea running one of the most elaborate deception campaigns in modern history? But here's where it gets truly disturbing. The use of body doubles doesn't just protect Kim, it allows him to be in two places at once. If a North Korean official meets with a foreign leader, how can they be sure they're speaking to the real supreme leader? What if world-altering decisions are being made by an imposter? And when rumors spread about Kim's mysterious disappearances, like in 2020 when he vanished for weeks, was he recovering from surgery, or was North Korea using a stand-in to maintain the illusion of power? And then there's the darkest theory of all. What if Kim Jong Un has already died, and his doubles are keeping his rule alive? Could the world be dealing with a government so obsessed with control that it's willing to fake the very existence of its leader? This isn't just about body doubles, it's about absolute control, the ability to erase reality, to manipulate perception, to keep both his enemies and his own citizens in a constant state of uncertainty, because when no one knows if the man on the screen is real, who really holds the power? Kim Jong Un's secret escape tunnels. A man obsessed with control doesn't leave anything to chance, not even his escape routes. While the world watches Kim Jong Un's armored limousines and bulletproof train, his real movements may be happening far below the surface, deep inside a secret network of underground tunnels designed to keep him hidden from the outside world. These aren't just simple bunkers or fallout shelters, they are entire underground highways stretching for miles, allowing Kim to vanish in an instant and reappear wherever he chooses. But why does the supreme leader of North Korea need such an extreme, hidden infrastructure? What is he preparing for? Some reports suggest that North Korea has spent decades digging an intricate web of tunnels beneath its cities, mountains, and even international borders. These underground pathways aren't just for emergency escape, they serve a far more sinister purpose. Intelligence analysts believe these tunnels allow Kim to move troops and weapons undetected, bypassing satellites, spy planes, and foreign intelligence agencies. The question is, why does a leader so publicly obsessed with power need an elaborate escape system? Is he preparing for war, a coup, or something even darker? And then there's the shocking part. Some of these tunnels may extend beyond North Korea's borders. Experts believe there are passageways leading directly into South Korea, China, and even the coastline, allowing for secret maritime escapes. If true, this means Kim could flee the country within minutes if his regime were ever at risk. A leader who claims to be untouchable, invincible, and worshipped by his people, yet has built an entire underground system to disappear without a trace. What does that say about his true grip on power? But tunnels aren't his only hidden obsession. Kim's love for luxury doesn't stop on land, it extends to the seas. Despite crippling international sanctions, North Korea has somehow managed to acquire a fleet of ultra-luxurious yachts, some worth over $100 million. These yachts are floating palaces, complete with private cinemas, marble dining halls, and security features that rival military vessels. They allow Kim to escape into the ocean, evading satellite tracking and surveillance, living in complete secrecy while the world searches for him. So what's the real reason behind Kim's secret tunnels and luxury yachts? Is he preparing for an emergency exit in case his regime crumbles? Or is this just another way to hide his movements from the world? One thing is certain, leaders who build escape plans are usually the ones who know their time is running out. The real reason Kim Jong Un travels like this. Kim Jong Un doesn't just travel, he vanishes and reappears like a ghost, always keeping the world guessing. His movements are not just about security, they are a message. Every journey he takes, whether by air, land, or sea, is a carefully orchestrated display of control, a way to remind both his enemies and his own people that he is untouchable. But beneath the layers of secrecy, deception, and heavily armed security, one question remains. Is this a brilliant strategy for survival, or is it a sign of a leader who knows his grip on power is slipping? In the world of international politics, travel is more than just movement, it is power. World leaders arrive in foreign countries with massive motorcades, red carpets, and flashing cameras. But Kim, he takes secrecy to an entirely different level. His trips are rarely announced, his exact locations are never disclosed, and his travel routes change constantly. When he flew to Singapore for a historic meeting with then US President Donald Trump, even his departure from North Korea was a mystery. 2 planes took off, one believed to be a decoy. Which one carried Kim? No one knew. This is not just about avoiding an attack, it's about keeping the world in suspense, making sure no one can predict his next move. His train journeys are even more enigmatic. A slow-moving, heavily fortified olive green train carries him across borders, protected by armed guards and surveillance drones. Why does he rely on such an outdated form of travel? Because a plane can be tracked, hacked, or even shot down, but a train? That's a moving fortress, impossible to detect by radar and nearly invulnerable to outside interference. It allows him to travel in total secrecy, protected from the watchful eyes of foreign intelligence agencies. But here's where it gets even more bizarre. Kim doesn't always ride in just one train. Some reports claim that multiple identical trains leave North Korea at the same time, running on different routes. If true, this means that even his closest allies and enemies never know exactly where he is. But this level of secrecy raises an unsettling question. Why does Kim Jong Un fear being tracked? Is it the threat of foreign assassins? A potential coup from within his own government? Or does he simply believe that maintaining a sense of mystery strengthens his power? Some analysts suggest that his unpredictable travel style is not just a security measure, it is psychological warfare. If no one knows where he is, then no one can plan against him. But in a world where surveillance technology is advancing rapidly, how long can he keep up this level of control? Kim Jong Un's travel isn't just about safety, it's about maintaining an iron grip on power. But in a world of increasing surveillance and intelligence tracking, how long can he keep moving in the shadows? Could his secretive methods one day become his greatest weakness? What do you think? Is this a genius strategy, or is it a sign of deep paranoia? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you think this was shocking, wait until you see what we expose next. Subscribe now because you won't want to miss it.